Who wrote this stuff? Oh, hello, Laura Denton here with freesewingtipsandtricks.com. Believe it or not, even seasoned seamstresses get frustrated at patterns. So I thought I'd talk to you a little bit today about patterns, how to read them, and maybe give you a few tips. First of all, one of the most important parts of your pattern is the cutting layout. Every pattern will have it. It'll show you how to lay your patterns out on the fabric and which direction to cut. These instructions are really important to follow so that when you finish your garment and you wash it, it's going to hold up. Another important piece of information in a pattern is the sewing directions for the seam allowance. A lot of people tell me that patterns run big. Actually, I don't think they do. I think what happens is that we have a smaller seam allowance than what the pattern calls for. Most patterns call for a 5/8 seam allowance. To me, that's just too big, too large. So I go down to 3/8 of an inch for my seam allowance. That means that the pattern will turn out bigger because of my smaller seam allowance. So you need to take this into account. A lot of times when you buy a pattern, if you know you're going to do a 3/8 seam, just get a smaller pattern and it will solve that problem. Now, as far as reading directions in a pattern, the best advice I can give you is don't get ahead of yourself. A lot of times what we do is we look ahead and then we try to figure out how to get there. If you're sewing with an unfamiliar pattern, do one step at a time, one task at a time, and it will be easier for you. Now, another tip I have to give you. A lot of my patterns I use over and over again, and as you know, the tissue paper they use to make patterns is very flimsy. So I have a couple solutions for that. One of the things I like to use is butcher paper. You can get butcher paper at just about any grocery store. A lot of the big box stores will carry it also. All I do is I simply trace the pattern out on butcher paper. It's a lot sturdier. You can fold it and keep it a lot longer. If it gets folded and it gets to be too rough, you can iron it with an iron. Another thing I like to use is poster board. Now, poster board, you can trace it out on poster board. It's a good stiff pattern piece, and you can actually use a rotary cutter with this without having to pin, which saves you a lot of time. Notice also I have a little punch hole here at the top because the patterns I use the most, I hang up on a nail in my closet. Anyway, these are just a few tips to help you deal with patterns and learn how to become a more successful seamstress.